Hi there, and thank you for your company. We are at lesson 4 in NAMCO's biology series. And if you were watching yesterday, you would know that we were talking about the green leaf and how it is structured to maximize photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which the plant produces its own food from which it grows. And this then becomes food for a wide range of animals as well as for us, humans. We'll explain how photosynthesis is a process whereby chlorophyll in the chloroplast in leaves captures light and uses carbon dioxide to form carbohydrates, a starch. Please note our learning objectives. Learners should be able to explain briefly the process of photosynthesis, state the equation for photosynthesis in words and as a balanced molecular equation. Describe the sources of water and carbon dioxide for the plant, and investigate the effects of an absence of light, chlorophyll, and carbon dioxide on starch production.
Not you too, my darling. I got up early so you could get nice fresh water before the sun becomes too hot through these windows. Please don't look so sad. Oh, my darling Malva, poor you. What happened?
Mom? Are you okay? What has happened?
Oh no! Oh, even you. Look at my plants, Winter. They are so unhappy and I don't even know how to help them.
Unhappy?
Yes, have a heart, Winter. Don't look with your city eyes. Look at their hearts.
Well, are they drying out?
My plants are not growing well. See how colorless the leaves are?
Oh, I can see that now. Well, they do seem a bit pale. Mom, what do you think could be wrong with them?
They seem to be asking me for better light. Yes, more sunlight. That's what I'll do. I'll move them.
Okay.
Over here. Then my lovies. Then now.
Mom, now that you have mentioned sunlight, yes, in biology, we learned about this in biology. We were taught that plants need light.
Really? Mm-hmm. I'm glad you children still learn about such useful things. Not only about computers, sexual education, and those other modern gadgets.
Yeah, Mother.
Come. Let's have tea on the stove. I need fresh air. And so do you. Look at your eyes because of writing all those SMSs. We shall throw that thing away. Out of my house. The problem is, it will replace just the next day. This instant society. Poor plants.
Mother.
Friends, you can probably by now pronounce and spell photosynthesis, right? You've been hearing it so often. You know now that plants make their own food through this process called photosynthesis. Photo means light. As a brief definition, we can say photosynthesis means made by light. This occurs in the internal structure of the leaf. We can explain photosynthesis as a process where sunlight is trapped by chlorophyll, which is in the leaf's chloroplast. Plants also use carbon dioxide from the air and produce glucose, which is a carbohydrate. So the plant definitely needs light and carbon dioxide, which it gets from the air for photosynthesis. What else does it need, do you think? That's right, that essential ingredient for all life, water. For photosynthesis to take place, a plant needs the following: light energy, carbon dioxide gas, and water. It also absorbs minerals from the soil to use. Let's look briefly at each of these conditions for photosynthesis. Chlorophyll is the most essential. That's the green color we find in the leaves of plants. The plant can use light energy both from natural and artificial light sources. But natural sunlight is better because it contains ultraviolet. Carbon dioxide is found naturally in the air that we breathe. Its scientific symbol is CO2. CO2 is released when carbon and organic compounds burn. And it is also produced when plants and animals breathe out during respiration. Water enters the plant from the ground through their roots. And the plant absorbs nutrients and minerals also through its roots from the soil. Actually, learners, for photosynthesis to take place, the plant uses 6 molecules of water for every 6 molecules of carbon dioxide. It adds plenty of light energy, and this recipe yields 6 oxygen molecules and 1 glucose molecule. The plant produces oxygen gas and sugar. Have a look at the chemical equation on your screen, as you should be able to both write it down and explain this equation in words. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 6 water molecules with the addition of light energy gives 1 glucose molecule and 6 oxygen molecules. The oxygen produced is released from the leaves back into the air. The glucose produced can be turned into starch, which is stored energy in the plant.
Benvinda,
Hi, Miss Veronica.
wasn't that the bell for the end of school? Won't you miss the bus?
Well, I have a class at 2. While I wait, if you don't mind, I wanted to ask you a question, please.
Okay, shoot.
Okay. You know how you taught us about photosynthesis in class today and how it happens?
And about the condition the plants need for making photosynthesis possible.
Okay. So does that mean that if things like water, light, and air are not available, that the plant would not be able to photosynthesize?
Absolutely, Benvinda. Why did you not ask me this in class so I could clarify it? If the condition for photosynthesis are not met, if those factors are not present or are limited, the plant might still try to photosynthesize, but the results would not be good. We find, for example, that when light is not enough, insects chew on leaves. Insufficient water can cause crops to produce a smaller yield and fruits of poor quality. And if you planted something in an airtight glass box with sand and water and even put in sunlight, it could not grow because it needs the actual carbon dioxide from the air.
Oh, yes, I can see that now. Thank you so much, Miss Veronica.
Benvinda,
Yes, Miss?
you know we can prove this investigation. It is not just theory. Biology is a living subject.
Prove? How can one prove that? Let's say the plant needs light energy for photosynthesis.
Come, put your bag down.
Okay.
I am busy preparing for tomorrow's practical lesson, which will help you all to understand the process of photosynthesis much better. We are going to carry out an investigation on light energy and its effect on the starch production of a plant.
Wow. Okay.
Help me check if we have all the items that we need. We need a discharge plant, which is inside here.
Do you what, ma'am?
Discharged. See, this plant has spent 3 days or 72 hours in this dark bucket and therefore has not been exposed to light. It was not able to photosynthesize to produce starch. Therefore, it's a discharged plant.
I see.
We will mark this one A. This plant on top of the bucket had more light that shined through here. We will mark this B. Then I've got these two tiles which I've marked A and B. And these two tubes which I've marked A and B. Then we need alcohol or methylated spirits, this iodine solution, hot water and forceps for handling the hot tubes. Those 4 beakers there, Benvinda, please bring them to me.
Okay, miss. Here we go.
Thank you. And the dropper pipette. And I have hot and cold water in those 2 beakers. Please bring them to me too.
There we go.
Now we'll test to confirm if the plant in this dark bucket is really discharged. This plant has been in this dark bucket for 72 hours, which makes it 3 days. A discharged plant is a plant that has no starch present in its leaves. A plant is discharged by leaving it in a dark place for 72 hours or 3 days, so it should be discharged by now, and we'll see if it is. Here is the procedure we will follow for the investigation. Firstly, we dip a leaf from this plant and one from this plant into the hot boiling water. We can leave it here for 1 minute. The reason we are dipping the leaves in hot water is to destroy the cell walls, cell membranes and enzymes. 1 minute. Now we place the leaf in the test tube with alcohol . And the test tube with alcohol and the leaf goes into the beaker with boiled water. The reason we do this is to make the alcohol decolor the leaf by removing the chlorophyll.
The leaves are now pale, whitish color and quite brittle.
Yes, nature does not want it looking like this. Now we rinse the pale leaf in warm water to soften it. And we place the 2 on the white tiles marked A and B alternatively. With a dropper pipette, I will now add a few drops of brown iodine solution on the leaves. This is how we test for the presence of starch in the leaves. Starch turns brown, iodine solution to black.
Wow. Leaf A from the bucket has turned brown and not black. And leaf B has turned black.
Good observation, dear biology student. Indeed, leaf A is brown, as it was in the black bucket for 3 days, and has no starch left in the leaves. Leaf B was exposed to enough light during this time and could photosynthesize, thereby produce starch stored in the leaves. The conclusion: Light is needed for photosynthesis. Plants need light energy, which is trapped by the chlorophyll in the chloroplast of the plant leaf. It is inside the chloroplast that the whole process of photosynthesis then takes place. No light, no photosynthesis.
That's for sure. I'll tell my mom. Thank you, Liz.
Viewers, I can show you another test we can do in the laboratory. This time to see if carbon dioxide is really needed for photosynthesis. We will use this variegated plant leaf. This time we will use a destarched plant. Cover it with a clear plastic bag. Inside the bag there is a chemical called potassium hydroxide. Now leave the plant exposed to the sunlight for 5 to 6 hours and remove one leaf. Then test for the presence of starch in the leaf. We test as before with a pipette and iodine. By the way, why do we use a variegated leaf for this investigation? The reason is it is a variegated leaf, which has some leaves with green parts that have chlorophyll and non-green parts that have no chlorophyll. The reason for covering the plant with a clear plastic bag is both to prevent carbon dioxide from the atmosphere from entering and to allow light to enter. The chemical in the bag can be either potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, or soda lime. These chemicals absorb all the carbon dioxide surrounding the plant. And what do we find? The leaf edge with no chlorophyll turned brown, meaning there is still no starch present. But the middle of the leaf has chlorophyll. It has turned black because starch has been forming there. Our conclusion: chlorophyll in the green color of leaves is needed for photosynthesis, and carbon dioxide is needed for the starch formation and thus for photosynthesis.
Let me go check on the map.
Thanks, darling. It gets so hot during the day. The plants really suffer some days.
No, Mom. We learned that plants have root hair cells. When you water the plants, water is taken up the plant from the soil through a process called osmosis.
Interesting. And did you say the plants use up carbon dioxide and give back to us oxygen instead?
Mm-hmm. Plants need the carbon dioxide which they get from the atmosphere. It enters the plant through the small holes in the leaves called stomata. Thank you, Mother.
Wow, my daughter. I must thank you for rescuing my dear plants this week. They look much better already. The exposure to more sunlight through the window has done them wonders.
Indeed.
Dear ones.
Viewers, have you enjoyed our lesson today? Well, I've enjoyed being in your company today. Let's see what information we have covered. We have seen that plants need water, carbon dioxide, light energy, and chlorophyll to make glucose, which is converted into starch and stored in plant leaves. Photosynthesis is the process where light is captured by chlorophyll in the chloroplast inside the leaf and used to reduce carbon dioxide from the air into carbohydrates or starch. Plants get CO2 from the air through their leaves and water from the ground through their roots. Light energy comes from the sun. The oxygen produced is released into the air from the leaves. The balance equation for photosynthesis is 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 6 water molecules with the addition of light energy which gives 1 glucose molecule and 6 oxygen molecules. Viewers, let's conclude with our SMS competition. To SMS your answer, enter the keyword for this program, which is photosynthesis, and then send as your answer the option A, B, or C to the number 5003. 1 SMS costs 3 Namibian dollars. Here is the question. Which one of these chemicals absorbs carbon dioxide from the plant surrounding? Is it A, potassium hydroxide, B, potassium peroxide, or C, iodine? We will announce the winner within 3 days, and if you are the winner, we'll call you to collect your prize at the NAMCall Center nearest to you. Thanks again for watching the lesson today, but please do join us again tomorrow for the 5th and last episode in our series.